Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inside the Taproom, where each month we bring you another location on the Laurel Highlands Pour Tour. We talk to the owners, the people that are making the awesome brews and wines, distilled spirits, and everything that makes the Pour Tour so great. So thanks again for joining us for another Inside the Taproom part of Go Laurel Highlands. My name is Jared Bundy. I do the digital marketing at Go Laurel Highlands. Helped put together the Pour Tour and a lot of the awesome places that you're checking out each week. And if you're not involved, make sure you go to lhpourtour.com. Again, that's lhpourtour.com. Get your free passport like you see right in front of us and start on your journey to collect some awesome prizes and supporting all the amazing local businesses that are part of the Pour Tour. So here we go. Let's jump right into it. Today, I am at Whitehorse Brewing here in Berlin, PA. We're in Somerset County. And who's my guest today?
Hello, everyone. This is George from Whitehorse.
Thanks for joining us, George. So
Sure.
let's start at the beginning. We are having an awesome tap room here in Berlin, here in Somerset County. How did you guys get started?
Well, like most microbreweries, nano breweries, we were home brewers. And so we decided, for whatever reason, just to go big. So that's basically how it is for us. That we established in 2012. First brew was November of 2013. And just tried to keep growing since then, making better beer every time, hopefully. So this year with COVID, we decided that's where we're sitting right now is our outdoor pavilion. And we knew with COVID we had to do something because most of the building is full of equipment. So we created an outdoor seating area for everyone to enjoy.
And yeah, we're sitting in here right now. If you're watching the video, you can see that. If not, it's this awesome enclosed wooden pavilion. It's super warm in here. It's probably 30 degrees outside, and it feels like 50, 60 in here with not even any heaters on. So, it's going to be really nice and toasty in here.
Right. Yeah. I tell you, it's really helped us through the winter months. Spring coming, we might even consider taking down a side to open it up to really fresh air. And hopefully get my backyard full of tables again. That's what we were able to do last summer, which was wonderful. The pavilion, socially distanced, was full. And then we had seating in our backyard, the rest of our backyard. So, yeah, it made it pretty good.
So I kind of love that, how you said like welcoming people to your backyard. And I mean, you're being 100% honest. This is all on your property. You're brewing out of this building here. You're expanded into this pavilion, and then you welcome guests into your backyard.
Exactly. It's the best neighborhood in the world, guaranteed. So
what was it? Were you nervous, like opening up your backyard, or you knew it was going to be great?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be great. People were appreciative, especially this summer. This past summer, they wanted to get out. And I think it's going to be that way again. So come to the Laurel Highlands. It's a beautiful area.
And that's great. I mean, we're in Somerset. You want to talk about what are some of the things you can do as you visit the tap room out here?
Well, we are very close to Flight 93 and Ohio Pile. And then honestly, it's just nice for a scenic drive. Just find backcountry roads. You can end up anywhere, and it's just a lovely drive.
Exactly. And when I was visiting out with Tall Pines and places like that, places that are kind of on the outer edges of the Pour Tour, I think these are incredibly important places to explore because you get out in kind of a new direction. Right. There's places out here. There's state parks. There's probably, like you said, Flight 93, things you've never seen. Q Creek is right down the road.
Q Creek, Mine Rescue. Yeah, like you said, state parks, Cooser, Laurel Hill. There is a lot to do, especially outdoors.
Absolutely. So let's get into that of things to do coming up. Whenever you're listening to this, we're recording here at the beginning of March 2021. So we are coming up on the Maple Taste and Tour weekend.
Yes, and it is a wonderful event that all the local sugar camps put together. And I don't even honestly know how many there are in Somerset County alone. But it is a wonderful event that they hold, and we are actually going to participate this weekend at Hillegas Sugar Camp. right at we call it Dividing Ridge.
Mhm.
So we don't know roads, we just know landmarks. Turn at the White Barn, turn at the Red House. So that's kind of how we get around here. But there's a map provided by Laurel Highlands Visitors Bureau. So get a pamphlet because it's well worth it. And I know one thing, I think, there's going to be some similarities of what products they have, but I think each sugar camp does something unique that, makes it worthwhile to go. It's like anything. You didn't know that could go with maple syrup.
Yes.
So, I know they make popcorn.
Yes.
Mustards, you name it.
Maple mustard. Yeah. Someone is aging the maple in like a bourbon barrel. I mean, there's just like,
really? Never heard of that one.
It was like a bourbon aged. I know Tall Pines is involved. You guys are involved. So
sure.
there's a lot of, like even our local Pour Tour place is getting involved with the Maple Tasting Tour.
Right.
So that's a cool marriage, I think.
Well, we always try and do as much local as we can, kind of use unique things like a lot of things. Making maple syrup is something that isn't done like it used to be. Families on a family farm would, they'd boil their own maple syrup.
Wow.
And everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of farms had a sugar camp. And, that's kind of like a lot of the farming industry, the agriculture community. Now it's become centralized and people have put in bigger systems, which the quality is tremendous. I mean, it's just unreal. And, but we try and be part of that because it is important. You got to keep it going.
Right.
It'll be a forgotten trade if someone doesn't do it.
Exactly. And that's why I love that there's all the hands-on demonstrations that actually showing you the process. I think that's super helpful. Even when I was at St. Vincent, one of the monks, one of the years that I worked there, decided to set up basically his own maple sugaring, just taking stuff out of the grove there, right at St. Vincent. But it was amazing just chronicling his experience and just like how much setup and time to collect all of the syrup, and you like boil it down, reduce, and you end up with a growler of maple syrup.
Right, exactly. Well, when I went to pick up the maple syrup for our breakfast time porter, I asked him, I said, well, how's it going? And he said, oh, it's been a really good year so far with the weather and the snowpack and everything else. And he told me, I said, well, how much sugar water, sap, did you collect? He said 70,000 gallons. And I said, how much syrup that make? He said 1,000. So like you said, reduce.
Yes.
But it is a great process just to see how it works. I mean, there's technology involved now, which they'll have to explain that when you go on the tour, because I don't know enough about it. I just ask questions, but never did hands-on. So,
okay.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's something.
Well, let's get into your beer then, because you guys are contributing. You said you're going to be set up. So talk about the beer that you're going to be releasing.
Well, what we've done in the past was a maple wheat. We thought, well, let's change it up this year. Let's try a porter. So we decided to do a maple bacon porter with we did use amaretti flavoring for the bacon part, but we did use Hillegas maple syrup. It'd be from last year, which it's perfectly fine. And it's a darker syrup so that it doesn't just give sweetness. There's like that little bitter hint.
Okay.
So, and that's the end of the run for the year is what makes the darker syrup. So.
Oh, so even when you get that syrup in the run determines maybe the type of beer you can brew it into.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, when we did the maple wheat, we would use a lighter syrup.
Okay.
So it wouldn't really darken the beer up. So.
And what stage do you add the syrup? Is it early on when you start brewing or towards the end?
No, it's actually on the cold side.
Okay.
So that there's so much sugar in there, that yeast. It's a simple sugar, but the yeast you wouldn't have any flavor left.
Oh, okay.
So, the yeast would just take it all.
Right.
You get a real high, nice ABV, but No maple flavor.
No,
We've made that mistake. So that's experience talking.
Exactly. So you guys seem to, always be releasing new beers. What is kind of your beer philosophy? When you guys are coming up with flavors or a new release, what are you thinking about?
Well, my wife Susan does that. She searches the web.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to do that. So, and she's like, "Well, here, this sounds good," or not that you're copying other breweries, but it's like, well, that sounds good, and then you put your own little twist on it, and that's as the market pushes you, you have to have something new in today's world. So that's why we decided this year. I mean, people have seen our maple wheat for 5 years, so
right.
We just decided to try something different. So hopefully it'll be okay and people will enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it smells great. So I haven't really tasted it too much. It hasn't aged a whole lot yet, but yeah.
Right. Well, and then like you said, you go and you find a style. So like a maple stout, something like that, you turn it into a porter, you use local maple syrup, and you add the bacon, and now you have something that's really different.
Right. Yeah, it seemed pretty unique. I mean, you see some out there. Sometimes it's a brewery from California or Oregon, that does something like that. But, it's nice to change it up.
Exactly.
And get people out here on the Pour Tour.
Right. So we always try to say there's always like more reasons to come back. And I know even when I just started with Go Laurel Highlands and putting things together, I would see maybe a release from all of our breweries, maybe one every couple weeks or so. And that was every Friday. I'm feeling like a laundry list of new releases.
Right.
And you guys are always up there. I'm always featuring a Whitehorse beer in a new release.
And we appreciate that. And I tell you, the Pour Tour has just been wonderful, and I think everybody that's involved could say the same thing. It's brought a lot of people to us, and the comment, "Man, you're way out here." But for us, we drive everywhere as it is, so we don't mind. A trip to Greensburg's like a trip to Somerset for us.
Yes,
I mean, you don't even think about the time involved, but. That's why we try and provide a nice family atmosphere. And we're dog friendly and outside of the brewery. And it's here for everyone. And it's nice to see when people visit, people that don't even know each other. And then all of a sudden they're striking up a conversation and they sit here for a couple hours drinking a beer or two.
Amazing.
It is. It's fun to watch. I mean, that's part of the fun of the whole thing.
Yeah, and thank you for your kind words. And what you shared is exactly what we want people to be doing on the Pour Tour. Something about, bringing your family and making sure it's something you can come out, sip, have a couple things, enjoy, spend some actual quality time here, and get to know the brewer, the fact that you can just walk in here and meet you or Susan, on most days is pretty unique. I don't think a Pittsburgh brewery or Philly brewery, you can just walk in there and meet a brewer.
Well, I like that atmosphere. I mean, it makes it fun. I like to talk, so everybody can come and talk.
There we go. And hence why you're our guest today on the podcast, right? So yeah, let's start moving on a little bit as we look into the future. Are we going to have some like events on this grandstand behind us, and what are we looking forward to this year?
Yes, as things open up, we're lining up entertainment. We have a wonderful lineup of food trucks, some from over Greensburg, some local. They're all great. Never really heard a bad comment about any of them, and again that makes it fun. And we're going to try and have as much entertainment as we can for people. And the neighborhood doesn't mind it. I ask everybody if it's too loud. And they say, no, we sit in the back porch and listen. So that makes it real nice. And I think my wife's going to plan more yoga in the flower garden and things of that nature, painting courses.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a nice atmosphere. We have good cover, so it's rain or shine. And hopefully we don't have a drought like last year, but we have nice weekends.
Right.
So we can all be outside.
That'll be, I'm hoping for a lot of sunny weekends where we
Right.
can, yeah. I mean, the cover's great, but also so they can explore the whole property around here.
Exactly. So
perfect. So, beer wise, can you tell us anything else that you're going to make this year? Any special brews like you're excited about?
Well, we were actually going to do a cherry jalapeno wheat,
Ooh.
and we're going to kind of collab with Marinos.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to come down on brew day, Josh.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah. So I dropped some beer off. He said, hey, I'd really like a wheat beer. I have a lot of customers. So I have a friend that I used to work with 20 years ago, and he homebrews, and a really nice guy. And he had this, as soon as Josh said that, I'm like, well, I'm calling Jim. We're going to, use Jim's recipe, and it'll be a cherry jalapeno wheat. So,
man,
yeah,
that sounds really good.
Yeah, that's one. And well, we're doing a lot of kind of collabs with wedding beers. People pitch the idea, and we write the recipe and to what their desire is. We're going to do a beer with spruce tips.
Okay.
So that should turn out well.
So how does that work? How does a spruce tip become a beer?
Well, you add that either at the end of the boil to get that flavor, or you can dry hop.
Right.
So a little bit with it. So, and a lot of these people homebrew, and I'm like, look, what do you want to do? And we'll do it, and we'll try it. I mean, that's kind of how it is.
Amazing. So, yeah, in case you guys didn't catch that, this is a place where you can come and brew your own beer for your wedding. You can come here with kind of an idea, and George and Susan will help you make that into a reality, right?
Right. Yeah. So we do all the legality and make sure it's right so that you can take it, and then we can resell it. So you don't have to buy the whole lot.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's a lot of beer to drink. I can't even do that.
So, yeah, if you're planning, weddings, other special events, things like that, do you work with corporations and businesses too?
Well, just trying to think. Well, I can say that like Mike Fay, he brewed here a year with us, and he's kind of like, he's where I learned so much from him. And he's like, George, just try it. What do you got to lose? But he does a very important fundraiser. His first wife had passed away from ovarian cancer. So, we continue to do the ovarian cancer coffee milk stout.
Right.
And he called it With You Always. And it's a great story. You can see it on UPMC's website. And then he conducted an interview with KDKA. So yeah, I guess corporate wise, that's where we go with that. But
right,
it's a wonderful event, and it's great to be. We're so honored to be part of it.
It's awesome.
It makes me tear up when I talk about it.
Right. No, I see that. I mean, I can tell like the passion for being involved with that project.
Yeah,
it's so nice.
We want that thing to grow and keep growing. And it's so important, that research. You got to go watch that video. That is critical.
Yeah, and that's on the UPMC website, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to navigate that, but I'm sure you can find it pretty easy.
Yeah, so I'll drop it in the show notes if you guys are listening on the podcast. Just check that out, and I'll drop a link in there, so it'll take you directly to that.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Like I said, we want that to just grow, and if every tank in here is full of With You Always coffee milk stout, that's fine with me.
Amazing.
So.
Well, good. Well, you can see that keep growing. That could be the first, national With You Always milk stout, right?
Wow. Well,
let's go regional.
Right. Yeah, we're not ready for bigger tanks yet.
We'll get there. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. No, but Mike and Caitlin have done just such a wonderful job, and Darcel's mom and dad. They just, and then everybody, all the breweries that have participated, a lot of them are on the Pour Tour.
Right.
and just everybody that's helped. It's just I provided the facility, and I just kind of sit back and watch and just think, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing to
So,
see that grow in just a few years, and how big that is.
Right. And they're so diligent about it. It's just so professional. And, it's great.
That's wonderful. And I mean, you're talking about a lot of things that I think are inherent with the Pour Tour, and that's that sense of community. We're not a bunch of competing brewers. Like the Pour Tour links everyone like in a way where it's like, cool, you liked it here. We also carry this person's wine, this person's spirits, and we'll point you to the next brewery down the road. That's something I always love. Or you're working with Josh, you're doing a collab beer with his restaurant. It's like all these things are just working together to raise the level for all of our brewers in the area.
Exactly. I mean, we got to help each other, especially after COVID. I mean, there's no room to compete. It's just to work together, and get more people out.
Exactly.
That's where we have to that's our contribution to each other, is just get them out.
Exactly.
Come see us. So, yeah, good stuff.
Perfect. Well,
yes.
Hey, I think, you said it right there. Like, let's get out. Let's start returning to a little bit of normalcy here. As you can see, like, these places are great. We're spaced out. You can spread out across the entire property here. So there's a lot of ways at all of these Pour Tour locations to kind of, you can stop in, get your to-go, or kind of spread out on location and sample everything that's going on here, right?
No, exactly. Yeah, we've been to a lot of places last summer when we could get away, and that's how it was. I mean, everybody was very conscientious of social distancing and, just to keep everybody healthy as much as you could.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Perfect. So, make sure you stop out here to Whitehorse in Berlin. You guys also have another location.
We're in Washington in front of the casino at the Meadows. So, really nice location. Good atmosphere, and we're hoping to expand there as well.
Oh, great.
Put an outdoor pavilion.
Perfect.
So that's in the works.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Right.
Expansion coming soon.
Right.
So that's about everything. Is there any final things you want to plug? I know you can follow you guys on Instagram. You're on Facebook. Anywhere else?
We have a website. Go to our website. I think that's it.
There you go.
I don't do that.
That's all right.
So I can't tell you.
No problem. They take care of all the beer releases, all the live music, all the food truck schedules, all of that you can find right on their social media.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yes.
I want to say thank you to the Laurel Highlands Visitors Bureau. I can ask any participating brewery, winery, distillery how much it's meant. It's meant a lot. And again, it turns into something fun. You think, my gosh, it's such a far drive to Whitehorse or Tall Pines or Glades Pike, but when you get to either destination, it's like, wow, glad we came.
Yes.
So again, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, George. And thanks for joining me. So all that remains is for me to thank you for listening again to Inside the Taproom. Again, we're at Whitehorse Brewery here in Berlin, Pennsylvania, in Somerset County. And like George said, don't be afraid of the drive. It's worth it. And I'm from Derry. It was nothing to come up to Jennerstown every Saturday for the races. We never thought of driving that far.
It's not far.
You're right. It's not bad. You're there before you know it. It's an easy drive. So make the trip up here. Like you said, there's tons of great beer to support. Grab some maple, do the maple tasting tour. But regardless of when you get up here, you're going to find something new and some old favorites on the menu here to check out in an awesome space.
Yes. Thank you very much, Jared.
Hey, thank you, George.
Sure.
Until next time, this is Inside the Taproom. Goodbye, everyone.